Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuning.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Carolina Panthers. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And the Atlanta Falcons. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by a man in his 11th year now at the helm of the Falcons, the 2016 NFL MVP, Matt Ryan.
What a season Matt Ryan had in 2016, where he led the NFL in so many different categories as a quarterback. Numbers dropped in 2017, but the team still qualified for the playoffs, took down the higher-seeded Rams in L.A. before losing a tough one in Philadelphia to the eventual.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. A big play there on the first play of the game, 54 yards. A big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw it a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive, nothing wrong with being electric, nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
Here's Coleman. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt, because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they get in for the opening drive score, and they go for 2. They kept the kicker lonesome over there. They said, we don't need you this time.
Kickers? Who needs kickers for PATs?
Nice now.
We want them for field goals, not for PATs. They went for 2 and got it. It's a new tone setter for this team.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The shotgun snap for Newton. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Now a run with McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Oh, nice move. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Well, he told us he was going to hit the end zone a couple times in this game. I just don't know that he envisioned doing it in the 1st quarter.
He probably did. I'm not sure we did,
yeah.
right? Because all the great ones, that's what they do. They dream about it, right? They think about it. They envision it. They think it's going to happen and almost will themselves into it. I just look at what he's done so far and just wonder what's left to come. Let's sit back and enjoy this one.
So 2 successful 2-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or 2-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
And the Panthers coming out now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On second down, here's Newton. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. Freeman with a fast feed. A second spin.
Turning and turning and turning.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The 3rd time wasn't a charm. They got the first 2 two-point tries, still have the lead, but couldn't get the 3rd.
Okay, so they didn't get this one, but I have to ask you, what matchup are they seeing that they feel that confident to go for 2 so often?
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, but it has to be something, you're right, that they saw all week, correct?
Definitely game plan for, felt good about being aggressive and going for it, and right up until that one, they had gotten 2 for 2.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Newton. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things. Line of scrimmage. Again, the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
They'll get a couple yards on that one. And it'll be a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Freeman with a fast feet. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action, they'll throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play. Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
He's Gaxanu. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
He's going to get it running right, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Dan Quinn's told his offense, let's try and get 2 more. They'll try and run with Freeman. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2.
Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. C.J. Anderson in the game. He gets it here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they got to get to the line quickly. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, You and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now they go screen. It's complete. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Ian Thomas, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead.
And these guys used a 4th-round pick on him this year specifically for red zone situations like we just saw, where he can use his big body to find open space in the end zone.
Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And they'll try to fire up the running game with C.J. Anderson. Anderson loses the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the 1st half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the 1st target of the 2nd half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. Oh, it's a wobbler here. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, That's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
They'll run for it with Anderson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I don't even have to stretch for this one. This is four-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the fourth quarter, but still, I think you can't. And that's going to be caught by Funchess for a Carolina touchdown. Devin Funchess, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. The lead is theirs here in the third quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. Now, whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Again, they'll run with Freeman. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. Now Ryan on 1st down. And this one brought in by Sanu. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Ooh, the juke. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, and he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
They'll try and run with Freeman. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Carolina getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On first down, Newton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Here's Newton now on second down. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
From the 50, Newton. Being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. The Panthers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Time for a break. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the gun on third down, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Stop made there by Julius Peppers.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Ryan wants to throw it. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Ryan looking downfield for Jones. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
They'll try and run with Freeman. And he will dive into the end zone, and the two-point conversion is successful. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for two up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for two late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. So as you see the numbers, a very uncharacteristic start, but he's been more characteristic as of late.
And usually we're seeing a very good start out of him because, let's face it, he's one of the best out there. But when he does have a start, as we just saw, would you call it uncharacteristic? You know mentally he's not that worried about it. He knows how good he is and figures he's going to get back on the beam real fast.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Throwing on third down, Newton. He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete. And now the rookie's free. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quick.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Newton. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. Oh, this is blocked.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
Gano out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And this will not be a good return. He's out of bounds at the 12.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
An incomplete, an excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. Forced out to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throw it back across his body. Picked off around the 37. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. A big